Hey guys, it's been a while since we've gone on a tour. Rocco and I are just out here in the garden, and we figured we would show you what it looks like in the fall and when it's practically gone and being prepped for winter time. So if you like those kind of tours, follow along. It's pretty hard to believe that we're almost at the tail end of the season, but the garden is certainly showing signs of age. Our giant fair pumpkin, I don't think worked out this year. I've had several sprouts of fruit on it, and currently we have some, but it gets to about the size of a, I guess, small ball. And then it usually starts to rot out. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. I do know that this vine itself got a fair bit of the vine borer. Like, it's kind of gross, to be honest, how rotted out some of this is. So I think that might be the cause, but something we'll try for next year. Here we just have a bunch of weeds. Calendula are still doing wonderful. I haven't been deadheading things. I haven't been weeding things. As you can tell, everything is a little bit in disarray. I'm gonna come and do a big garden cleanup before we put everything to bed. So in this bed, we just have some marigold, and then we have our jalapeno plant. We were waiting for a lot of these jalapenos to start turning red, but we're kind of thinking we may just pick them because we don't really have a lot of time for them to ripen. Currently, there's nothing planted in this bed. We had tried to plant a couple peas, however, they got eaten by squirrels. This is our only tomato plant left. It's the Brandywine, but as you can see, it's also seen better days. Probably gonna go this weekend. This bed, we haven't planted anything yet in it either. We were planning on planting a garlic in a couple weeks, so we're just deciding which beds we want to do that because it is a longer commitment for garlic. Our basil's still doing really, really well here. I'll take that out, but right now all of these flowers are giving food for all of our pollinators, so of course we're going to keep it for them. This bed here, we have planted a couple radishes. I keep getting past digging up my things, so none of these are really for consumption. They're just to have something in the bed. We still do have some turnip here. They're a cooler weather crop, so hopefully we'll get some of those. We really like mixing it with potatoes and making mashed potato and turnip mix, so we're looking forward to having that for Thanksgiving. A couple of pepper plants here. Peppers will produce until they stop producing. They can be a plant that you keep year after year if you store them inside. Dill forest, a lot of it's going to seed. So what we're trying to do here, you can see it kind of dries out. And then once it does that, we can actually take this off and use this as seed. You can eat it or you can plant it. We did have to pick our corner to Toro peppers because it got stolen by critters in our compost, which is probably okay because these plants are getting quite heavy. We have some carrots hiding under here. We're just letting them go till we need a couple carrots. The best place to store your carrots are in the bed. Here, this is a new bed for you guys. So we made this beautiful U-shaped sanctuary, and right now, just to kind of start filling it with some things, I have planted some radish. I had planted a little bit of kale in here as well. And then, of course, I have a bunch of volunteers. We had put some not quite done compost, so again, we're not really looking to grow these radishes to consume them. We're growing them to actually just have something in the soil. There were a couple of varieties of radishes that we didn't like, so instead of wasting the seeds, I just figured I would plant them and we'll just turn everything back into compost. This bed here, it definitely needs some weeding. We do have a lonely kale and corn, the gem glass corn. It's done for the year. We had harvested everything, and we're just drying out these stalks because we're using them as decoration out front. Marigold on the side here. This is doing well. This is actually a sweet potato. If you were following, we got this sweet potato on clearance at the end of the year, and we have never grown sweet potatoes, so we just stuck it in the ground, and it's about quadrupled in size. Oh, where'd you come from? Please excuse the lack of wood there. We needed it for our project, and instead of buying lumber, we just stole it off there because we'll be switching things up here. Ooh. So on this side here, there's lots of the squashes and whatnot. So I got some mini pumpkins and then some ornamental gourd. And our tomatoes, they were in here and they just got all pulled out yesterday. I haven't done my TLC on this bed. It was just a quick get rid of it situation yesterday. So that's what we did. This bed here, as mentioned, peppers will keep producing until they keep producing. So we are still getting tons of baby bells. We're still getting tons of hot peppers, all sorts of things in this bed. If you want to have a happy harvest, plant a bunch of peppers because they will go right until fall. This bed here, we only have a little bit of beets and the rest has nothing. So that's pretty much, guys, that's the garden tour. That's all the garden is giving us. So let's take you over to the side beds. Over here, I'm actually still impressed with how this is so full. But these are our strawberries. Somebody's been digging in my herb gardens. And then we have the flower garden. I was a bit worried about these tall stalks, but it looks like any day we should get some blooms. So I'm pretty excited about that. Some flowers are doing better than others, but I'm just happy that we still have a fair bit of color. Definitely going to be planting more zinnias next year. And our other herb bed up front. And well, that's really it. Thanks for coming along, guys.